All right, ladies and gentlemen, how is it going? Today is a special edition of the LDM Radio Sports Talk. Shout out to the host, Alfonso. He's actually going to be in a ball game, the Yankee ball game today. So I thought about doing this wrestling talk today. So, strap up your boots and let's get towards the ring, with this special edition of wrestling talk. But first, I'm coming here. Gotta make sure I share these things. But today we're talking a little bit about the wrestling, the news, SummerSlam, and other things that you probably didn't know was going on with wrestling today. So these are little things that are going on. So far, if you guys do not know, Vince McMahon has announced that he is taking leave. He's leaving, which is, for me, a good thing, or is it a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. Yes, I do. So, to me, I think him leaving, it might be great. We'll probably get NXT back the way it was. Uh, we'll get how you call it? Probably the Japanese overseas. We'll probably get that a little bit better. So there are things. Excuse me. I'm just trying to tag the people that wanted to be tagged on this live thing here. But just to get people understood what is going on with the wrestling today, like I said, he has announced his retirement today. So I guess it's a good thing that he is announcing his retirement because now, like I said, people can come back. And speaking about people coming back, uh, Triple H has come back to the WWE as well as Stephanie McMahon, and they are the ones that are going to be running the WWE now, which is a good thing. Again, uh, uh, but let me tell you my little conspiracy about this and why Vince McMahon has gone down. Basically, Vince McMahon is retiring because there was talk about Triple H making his own wrestling. He has been seen with AEW. He has been seen with Impact Wrestling and with meetings. So they have spoke about it. So did he retire because he wants to retire, or did he retire and said, you know what, I have to step down to allow Triple H to come back? Or maybe that was just a thing. If he wanted Triple H and Triple H said, as long as you there, I can't. So if you step down, I'll come back. I'm just throwing things that could be possible. It can be something that's happening. I don't know if it's true, but it could be. Hey Charles, how's it going, man? We're doing a little edition of wrestling talk, so hopefully you're a WWE fan and stuff like that. But we are speaking about wrestling today. And again, like I said, Vince McMahon has retired. So that's the good news that is going on with the wrestling world. He had to leave. He had to be gone. And I'm taking over today's show for Alfonso. Alfonso is the normal host of the sports show, but he is in the Yankee games today and tomorrow as well. So shout outs to him. But again, Triple H and Shane McMahon is still not so keen. I don't know what's going on with him, but Stephanie McMahon and Triple H has come back to take over WWE. So hopefully Triple H will get back WWE the way it was supposed to be. And when I'm saying the way it was supposed to be, meaning NXT, because then when he took over, it was NXT 2.0. It went down the drain a little bit. So that wasn't that great to do. But hey, it is what it is. But let's get talking about SummerSlam. SummerSlam is here, and again, like I said, I'm sharing some of these pages out here for people to know that we are here and we are live. But not many people can relate, I guess, to wrestling as we do. We get really into wrestling here at the LDM radio station. So we're going to get with the first match that I wanted to think about. And that is the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley versus Theory. Bobby Lashley versus Theory is somewhat, okay, like Theory is Drew McIntyre in the 80s and 90s when Drew McIntyre was the go-to person for WWE. He was like the golden child of Vince McMahon. Now Theory is that golden child of Vince McMahon. But did they push Theory too much to be on the top? And the only way they could give Theory the championship belt was to have Roman Reigns or or Brock Lesnar so hurt that he can cash in the Money in the Bank. That's the only way he is going to be able to take the belt from one of these two guys. But will he get his championship away from Bobby Lashley and win the Undisputed Championship? To me, I don't think so. They shouldn't do it because he's not that great yet. But will they do it? They might, just to tee people off. I don't know. But because Bobby Lashley, he's still not a great speaker. He's a good wrestler, but he don't have the mouth. He doesn't have the, the charisma as, like The Rock and all of these other guys. And Theory does have the mouth. He does have the charisma and talking. So maybe he can do something good with the United States Championship. But taking the belt, I don't know. I don't think that should work. But if I was the writers, I would say something different, I would come out, hey, Johnny, how's it going? That's how it's going to happen. You think so? I don't know. I don't know if the belt should fit, Theory. If it does, I don't know if that's the way to go. Honestly, I think they should do something big where he tries to cash in the Money in the Bank and it doesn't happen. But what do you guys guess? Bobby Lashley versus Theory. This is what we're talking about right now. Will Bobby Lashley retain the belt or will he lose it to Theory? I think he's going to lose one of the two belts by outside interference. And here's why I say it. Because they have pushed Theory for a couple of weeks of having a lot of people that don't like him. So you got the Bobby Lashley who don't like him. You have, what's this guy's name? I'm forgetting names right now. But it'll come back to me. But there's about 3 people that don't like him. So will they come out and distract him from one of the belts? Could be. It could be. I don't know. But Johnny said he'll lose it. He'll lose it at the next pay-per-view. Who's that, Johnny? You think Bobby will lose it at the next pay-per-view? I don't know. I don't know if Bobby will lose it at the next pay-per-view or will he actually keep this one. So I'm thinking he might keep this one. I don't think he will lose it. But yeah, Bobby Lashley losing the belt at the next pay per view sounds like a thing that could happen or would happen. You know what I mean? So those are things that we have to look at. But overall, I picked Bobby Lashley on this one. That's just me. I'm going with Bobby Lashley on this, just because I don't think, and if Bobby Lashley does lose the belt on this one, then that means Theory would not get the belt for the undisputed title. So he would get one of the other ones. Hey, Jay Sams, how's it going? Jay Sams said, I don't think Bobby's going to drop the title at SummerSlam. I don't think so either. But like I said, if he does drop this title on SummerSlam, that means Theory would not get the undisputed belt. I don't think they will give him both belts. He's not that big enough yet. He's good enough to piss people off. Maybe they'll do it. Or maybe that's Vince McMahon's last hurrah of saying, I can do whatever I want to do, because this is his last say-so on this thing. SummerSlam is his last go-to. So maybe he'll leave at a big thing. I don't know. But that's a good thing, Jay. I don't think he's going to be losing this belt. But since we're talking about the Undisputed Championship, let's talk about that. Roman Reigns versus Lesnar. Brock? Or could I say it the way it's supposed to be? Brock Lesnar. Who you got? Who you got, people? Let's talk about this. Who do we got? Don't matter who gets, because again, Theory is in the background waiting for one of them to get so hurt that he can take the belt. And that's the only way he can take the belt, is by one of them being so hurt. But there is rumors that Roman Reigns do want to take a rest, so he is going to probably lose the belt. So I'm thinking Brock Lesnar will take the belt, but then maybe Theory will take it from the thing. But again, Theory does have a lot of enemies. So will he mess up? So I don't know. This is a good one. Jay Sam says, honestly, I think Roman is going to walk out still champion. Maybe, but like I said, there is rumors that Roman does want to take a rest. So it might be that he will be losing the belt. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. Like you said, it might not happen. I don't think it will. But it would be great if he does. He can take a rest. He gets so-called hurt. He can't come back, take a rest, and then he'll get the belt back. Hey, Feles, he said, now that Vince is gone, Theory doesn't stand a chance. Well, I was just explaining that Vince is gone, but this is his last hurrah. This is his last pay-per-view that he can say anything about it. So knowing how Vince is, he might just want to piss people off before he leaves. This is his last say-so in SummerSlam. So he might be one of those type of guys that be like, okay, I'm going to make you remember me and do something dumb. But I'm glad he's leaving. We could get NXT back to where it was. It fell so far down when he was took over, and everything else had fell. Even the Japanese wrestling fell. So being Triple H coming back, he might have a little bit of say-so on the what's going on. But my pick, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar. I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar just because it's the last man standing. And if you have done your homework in many, many wrestlings, it was the last of many other things, and they won. Let's take Stone Cold versus The Rock. The Rock tried to beat Stone Cold so many times. The last say-so, boom, he won the belt. I mean, he won against Stone Cold. Same thing with John Cena. He did the last with a couple other people, and he finally got the belt. Uh, Batista with Triple H, the last, got the belt. So it's like a pattern when they say they couldn't beat the person so many times. Now here comes their last chance to beat that person. They beat him. So that's the reason why I'm going with Brock Lesnar. Will he stay with the belt with Theory in the background? That's a question to be asked. And that's the question that we have to look at. Can he do it, and can he stay with the belt, seeing that Theory is lurking in the backgrounds, as we say. So again, what is your take? Who you got, Lesnar or Reigns? So last man standing. This is gonna be a fight to remember. You got two massive men that don't want to give nothing up. Egos flying all the way around, and Brock showing his dominant of why he's the alpha male of WWE against the tribal chief. Let's find out what's going to happen there. But, speaking of the tribal chief, we can't go nowhere and say what's going to happen, because now you have the Usos versus the Street Profit with guest referee Jeff Jarrett. That's JEFFJARRETT. Jeff Jarrett being the guest referee. Who thought of this? I have no idea, because Jeff Jarrett is an Impact person. So maybe they're trying to bring him here. I don't know. Well, Adam Pearce, you put it together. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure if Adam Pearce is the one that talked to Jeff Jarrett to come here and do it. I don't know. But I don't see where it fits. So you screw up the story already. In my opinion, the story got screwed up by bringing Jeff Jarrett in to a place that doesn't really need to be. So that's my pick. That's my opinion on this so far. Is why are they there? You know what I'm saying? So give me 1 second here. Why are they there? But anyway, they there, right? So the Usos versus Street Profit. Let's start with who you got. Again, this all falls in. Jay Sam says, yeah, adding Jeff Jarrett was so random. Like there is no, there is no, you know what? Jay, you hit it on the nose. Where does he even fit into the story is what I was saying, and Jay Sam just said the same thing. Where does he fit in all this? He don't. You know, the Usos versus Street Profit, guest referee, to me, would have sounded better if you would have bring one of the Dudleys, since the Usos want to take the Dudleys' moves. You know what I mean? That would have been great. You know? Or to scare everyone and saying that the Usos are going to keep the belt, I would have bring one of the family members in, you know, as a guest referee, to make it seem like it's unfair because it's one of the Usos' family. You see what I'm talking about, writers? The WWE writers? These are ways to go where you keep the people guessing. But Jeff Jarrett, where is he going to fit in this? I don't know. Is he going to be straight down the line? Did the Usos, buy them? So you never know. Tribal Chief have maybe, spoken to someone or spoken to Jeff Jarrett, and it's all going to unfold. But right now, it's just so random. It's just so random. We also got one. It's tough to say because does WWE want to kill off the entire bloodline? That's a good question. Keeping the Usos with the belt, since Roman Reigns has rumors of taking a break, maybe that'd be good. Keeping the Usos there with the belt a little bit longer. But is it time for the Street Profits to take the belt back? I say yes. But it's also time for the Street Profits to maybe go single. I don't know. Maybe this is the straw that breaks the back and they go single. I don't know. Uh, because remember, in Money in the Bank, they did good. So now we got SummerSlam coming up. And I tell you this much, the Street Profits are good. They're a good fighter. They're a good entertainer. Come on, from the heavens. That's the. I'm sorry, I'm one of the biggest, or probably the biggest Eddie Guerrero fan since he's been in AWC and Impact, and then WCW. I followed him all the way. But Eddie Guerrero has the best frog splash. But the highest, it has to go to the Street Profits. This guy goes to the heavens. So, could it be over 1, 2, 3 from the heavens? That's a good question. I don't think it will, just because if they take Roman Reigns' belt off, they can't take the Usos. They're going to kill the whole bloodline. And especially now that they got that new shirt. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna go the way they want it to go, but it's a good question. So with this one, I can joke around and say I got the winner, Usos versus the Profits. But yeah, this is hard. I'm gonna have to go with the Usos because I'm just a fan of theirs. So we wonder. I wonder if they plan to divide the belts so that SmackDown has their own belts again and Raw has their own. They are speaking about it. There was rumors on Wrestling Talk with WWE and Stone Cold that they are thinking about splitting it back up. The reason why they bring the belts together like this is because, again, back in the Attitude Era and all that, they bring those belts together as one, and many people started watching it. So since AEW started whipping their butts, they figured doing it again. And then plus, the tag team was bonded together like that for two reasons. One, they did not have that much tag teams to go on for both sides. And then two, it looked it better if the Bloodline had all the belts. But yeah, they should do that. They should, instead of having them fight for the belt, they should just go like, okay, I'm going to go to SmackDown and I'm going to challenge anybody for the belt, which they will be giving up their SmackDown belt and not the Raw belt. And or vice versa, they go on Raw and say, hey, I'm fighting for the belt, meaning not the both belts, but just one. I think they should do that in order for them to split it up. So maybe that's what will happen. Maybe that the Usos could win the belt and then say, you know what, I'll challenge anybody on SmackDown for the SmackDown part of the belt. You never know. That's a good question. And this is coming from the hip-hop gentleman. Thank you for watching and asking those questions. But again, let's find out. But another random match that they have, and we're going down the line here, will be Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Like, seriously? I know you got to just throw a match in there but this is another match that has nothing written really on it. Corbin has taken issues with McAfee, but I don't know. This is a confusing one for me. Even though Happy Corbin hasn't been happy for a while, they should have kept him fighting, his guy that he banged up and everything. But they killed that story real quick, just like many other stories that Vince McMahon just killed at the thin air. Like the next day the storyline was done. But Corbin versus McAfee, I can't see it it's just going to be a fun performance. It's just going to be a hit, hot, bomb, boom. You know, good five. I don't even see it going more than 5 minutes. It's just going to be something that they're just going to do just to kill some time. But of course, they're going to give it to Pat McAfee, which they shouldn't. They underestimating Happy Corbin. He is a good fighter. Hey, John Hernandez, how's it going? We here, talking about wrestling today. So I don't know if you're a big wrestling fan, but we're trying to figure out who's going to take what. But I said it before, and I say it again. Happy Corbin should go back to where he was. He did have a contract with WWE saying that no one, no matter who it is, can kick out of his finisher, because that's why it's called a finisher. And when I found that out on an interview that he did, I said that was the go-to guy, because that makes so much sense. You shouldn't be kicking out of anybody's finisher, because it's called a finisher for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And then if somebody does kick out of it, it should be someone big. Like, oh my God, no one ever kicked out of the finisher. Here it is, Roman Reigns, like something like that. But not Pat McAfee. If Corbin hits him with his end of days, it should be the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be kicking out. So I'm hoping that they don't show him kicking out of end of days, because it's going to be a not great thing to do if he kicks that out of that. So that's my pick, will be Pat McAfee winning, just because they're trying to bring him up, and his review match. So, a lot of people don't lose on their first time, But Corbin has not won a pay-per-view match. So, again, will he continue not losing on a pay-per-view match? I think so. So, sad to say, but I'm going to have to go with Pat McAfee, just because they're hyping everything up. Which Pat McAfee is like one of those celebrities that I don't even see going so far in the WWE. To me, is just a filler, is what I say. He's not someone that I would say will go far. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I've been a fan of the wrestling, and I'm not talking about just WWE. I'm talking about all wrestlings. I watch all of them, from Japanese, from the Impact, from all the other stuff. So I've seen guys like this come and go. It's just a gimmick, a slot to put someone in. So I don't see him going far, but him winning this will pump up a little more of the story, but he will not go far. So Pat McAfee versus Corbin, they're going to have to give it to Pat McAfee, just because it's probably in his contract. But let's go to some better match, and that is the SmackDown Women's Championship. Liz Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. Ronda, all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, can take the belt from Liz Morgan. That's my thing. But would they let her take the belt? That's the question. This one is a little tricky for me. Since her Money in the since her Money in the Bank cash-in, she has been pushing up. So they're trying to push up a positivity again, the same way they did with Mrs. Ass, which they killed her story and she went down. With Bailey, with the hugs, So they tried to have someone come back in to relate to the kids again and do a positivity thing with the kids. So with that said, I say Liz Morgan will take it because of that. But will she take it straight, 1, 2, 3 on the mat? I don't think so. Something's gonna happen that's gonna cause her to win the belt, but not a straight up fight. That's my take on the Liz Morgan versus Ronda. I don't think she's gonna take it straight up. This time with Ronda Rousey, she lost because her fake knee injury and stuff like that. I see Ronda Rousey as Brock Lesnar coming in, doing a couple things, boom, win the belt, leave again, just to hype things up. I don't see her as a long-term uh, Roman Reigns type of person or a Flair, type of person. I don't see her like that. You know, I see her as just doing it. Now, here it is, WWE writers. Maybe I would let Liz Morgan win the belt. But then coming from behind the stage will be her next opponent, and that will be Bayley. Shock the world with that. Bayley is clear to fight. She's ready to fight. She's been posting up on Instagram with all the wrestlers at the PC Center. So maybe she is ready. J. Sam said, I don't think so either. Liz is going to walk out as champ, but it won't be clean. Exactly. It's not going to be a clean fight. They have to give her something to, and guess who could it be? Because there is going to be one person that don't like Liz and don't really like Ronda and wants the belt. I got a couple people in mind that will probably would fit that, agenda, you know. So and the one person on the top, Flair, Charlotte Flair. Second one, Becky Lynch. You know what I mean? Or like I said, Bayley comes out. It could be so many people that will come and probably distract the fight to try to make Liz Morgan lose, maybe, because they don't like Liz Morgan. But it'll probably backfire and then wind up Ronda loses the belt. WWE writers, these are ways to go. Try not to do the same thing again and again. I'm tired of the same moves and the same issues that you guys are bringing in. So let's try that. Let's try to bring something different. And I think out of all people, I'm saying have someone come down where it backfires and they wind up causing Ronda Rousey to get the belt. Because then you have a storyline there when Ronda is not worrying about getting the belt, but getting revenge to the person that caused her from losing the belt, which in this case, it would keep her relevant in WWE, but not as a champion, if that makes any sense. Because this way, Liz Morgan can keep up with her positivity of, being a champion. Having these young girls looking up to her saying, anything is possible if Liz Morgan can do it. But Liz Morgan, it was about time she gets it. But you know how it is. They give the belt to one of the females, and then they kill her character, and then she doesn't get a belt for a very, very long time. So that could be what's happening now. So we don't know. Could it be? That's the whole thing that I'm trying to find out if that's the best way to go. You know what I mean? So we'll find that out. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Liz Morgan on this one, just because of the reasons why I said Ronda Rousey is not a long-term holder of the belt. I don't think she can go that long. Or put it like this, I don't think us fans can see her that long. She's going to be a Brock Lesnar, come in, win the belt, bam, 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 lose the belt, leave, come back, win the belt. Keep her like that. Keep her as the woman Brock Lesnar as possible. That's my opinion on it. So, like I said, I don't know, but that's where I'm going with that. So, and that's the SmackDown Championship. So let's go to the Raw Championship, which is the Women's Raw Championship, I mean. And that is Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Belair, powerful, beautiful story. They took her belt in 30 seconds last year in the SummerSlam. So now she's back to this SummerSlam to, you know, get revenge of her loss. So with that said, they can't take the belt away from her. I don't think it's going to be a good thing to take the belt away from her when you took the belt away from her last SummerSlam for 30 seconds, making her the laughing stock of WWE for a while, and then she made her way right back up. Is she a good belt holder? I can say yes. I can honestly say she's a good belt holder. She needs to learn a little bit more mouth, a little more speaking. Her promos are not that up to par yet, but they are good. You know what I mean? That's why they cut her off many times. But they are good. Now, Lynch, she has taken issues with the fact that she didn't even get a rematch after she lost the belt to Belair. So this is, at WrestleMania. So that was WrestleMania moment for Bianca, but this is more of a better moment for Bianca because this is where she lost the belt in 30 seconds. So guarantee what's going to happen here is they're going to fight. She's going to pin her within the 30 seconds. And then, for the announcers to be like, ooh, she almost lost it again in 30, things like that. Just to remind the people what happened. So her rematch against Becky Lynch, since WrestleMania's loss, it continues. And I think this will probably be the final. They might give Becky Lynch a different storyline. Because again, she's having problems with Asuka. They killed that story quick. You haven't seen it. You haven't seen Asuka come out against her like she was doing him. So maybe Triple H will say, you know what? We need to go back to the story. So maybe Asuka will come back, cause Becky Lynch to lose the belt again, coming in her matches, and start a fight. Or, if I was a WWE writer, I would switch it up so good. I would have Asuka come out. And here it goes with the announcers. Here goes Asuka again to stop Becky Lynch from getting the belt. And then she got the chair. Bam! What? She hit Blair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bianca Blair gets hit by Asuka. Like, the whole storyline changed. And Becky and Asuka are best friends. And that's what happens. Something where it tricks the mind of fans. That's what we need. We need something different now. I'm a little tired of the same storylines. So try something different. But Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. I take Bianca on this one, just because her story is not finished. You know what I'm saying? After SummerSlam, it's finished. She redeemed herself. She won it back in WrestleMania. She came back in SummerSlam and beat the person that beat her last SummerSlam in 30 seconds. She redeemed herself. She came to a full circle. Then you could take her belt. But I don't think it's a proper thing or a good thing right now to take her belt. And then plus, Becky had the belt too long. Flair had the belt too long. Asuka had the belt too long. Give it to someone else to have it a little bit longer. So that's my take on that. So I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. Comment below what you guys think on this, on who's going to take what. So right now, if you can riddle me that question of Belair versus Becky Lynch, and you get it how I said riddle, because that is the next match I want to speak about is Riddle versus Seth Rollins. And you see how they did Seth Rollins. He had not really gone for the belt or been in a belt picture since he lost the belt. But he is so relevant to the WWE that no matter what story he is touching is golden. So he's one of those wrestlers like Rey Mysterio that don't need a belt at this moment. You know, Randy Orton didn't need a world championship belt for a long time, but he was so relevant to WWE. To every story that he has touched, they are relevant. So that's what Seth Rollins is. Seth Rollins is a champion without a belt, and he's a great promo, great actor, no matter if he's a good guy, bad guy, or in-between guy. Because right now, I see him as an in-between. He's good. He's one of those bad guys you love to hate, you know? So, Riddle by himself might be an issue. It might be an issue for me. I think they tried him by himself. He didn't really work out. So they made the tag team, you know? RK Bro, which was the most fun and the most laughter that I've seen Randy Orton for a long, long time. Randy Orton plays always that serious person. So this was a good story for him. So RK Bro was a good thing. Did it boost up Riddle enough for him to go a solo act? Maybe not. I don't think so. Maybe he needs to go to KO Bro, or Bro KO, I think it was. You know, Kevin Owens was telling him, let's go into a tag team together and call it KO Bro. You know, maybe he needs to do that. But I don't see him as a single person right now. I don't think it lifted him up as much. Is he a good wrestler? Yes. Good promo? Somewhat. He's funny. He's funny, that I give him. But entertaining? Yes. But I don't know if that's enough to get him in the single, especially against someone like Seth Rollins. So for that reason, I'm going with Seth Rollins on this one. I'm sorry, but that's my take. I got to go with Seth Rollins on this one. Even though I was a fan since NXT when Seth Rollins was there, then he came to WWE as a Nexus, and then joined the group, you know, with Roman Reigns. So let's see. Let's see what happens. But Rollins, I give it to Rollins. He attacked him. He's showing he's into Riddle's head. Attacked him in the KO show. Stomped him maybe once or twice. Just stomped him on the Raw, the last Raw before SmackDown. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to give this to Seth Rollins. So, but then we're going to go to another match, another throw-in match. I call these throw-in matches because they need time just to throw something in there, throw some stars in there. So, The Miz versus Logan Paul. Another celebrity I don't see far into wrestling. So-called, signed on a contract, just signed it just to fight The Miz because he wanted to beat The Miz since WrestleMania. The Miz is one of those people like Randy Orton you can't trust. Or, Kevin Owens. That's about three of those guys that you can't not trust. Yeah, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and The Miz. You fight them or be next to them, sooner or later, you will get, stung or bitten or whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, these are guys you can't not fight. You cannot be with. So, of course, The Miz was going to turn on him. Was it so quick? Yeah, that was fast. Like, they didn't have no story. They were just running through the stories. Like, this could have gone for a bit. The Miz could have helped him sign in as a wrestler, took him higher and higher, and then they lost the match, and then he blames it on Logan, and Logan gets mad, and then he tells him, well, I'm the one that brought you here in wrestling, and then that match could have been. But they just took him that quick that he turned on him. So after the match that Miz turned on him, Paul has wanting to come back and fight the Miz to get his revenge. Will he get his revenge? No. He's not going to get his revenge. And I tell you why. You got people behind the Miz helping the Miz, unless, no, I was going to say unless someone else comes and help Paul, but who? Who's going to help Paul? It's going to be something where it's not going to help. So, Paul, get done. Yeah, I think the Miz is going to take this. But since the Miz is starting to look like John Cena's ending of the career and just boosting people up, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But it looks like that's what he is doing. He's there just pushing people up instead of winning matches and things like that. He's like, bringing guys over. So with that, maybe the Miz will lose just to bring Logan Paul up. But what I would do if I was the writer, I would just let Logan Paul have moments in the match. Jumping from the top rope, jumping over the rope to the floor, hitting him with moves that you never think that Logan Paul can do. Things like that. Give him these little moments here and there, but not enough that he can win against someone like The Miz. We will still see the skills Logan can have, but he didn't have enough to beat, The Miz this moment in this SummerSlam, but he might be able to do it in the next pay-per-view. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. If you guys agree with me, let me know. But again, this is part of the LDM Radio Sports Talk. And shout outs to Alfonso. He's not here today. He's working at the Yankee Stadium. So shout outs to him. You can check him out every Thursday at 5 p.m. He speaks about the NFL, NHL, baseball, touches somewhat on soccer. So whatever sports is in the season is what him and his friends speak about. So, but again, The Miz versus Logan Paul. I'm going to have to go with The Miz. The Miz always has something under his sleeves. He's not to be trusted, Logan, so don't think he's coming solo or he's not coming with a plan. But if you guys seen the Raw before SmackDown, it's funny how Logan always mentions Miz small testicles, and then his wife came to talk to Logan Paul, telling him to stop talking about testicles and his thing, and she had a bag, a 2-ball bag. So it was like a punt on the testicles. So that was kind of funny. And if you can see, when The Miz came, she was like blocking the bag, which I was thinking that The Miz was gonna look and say, "Hey, what's going on with that bag?" And people would laugh, but they didn't go that direction. But to backtrack before I leave, Riddle versus Seth Rollins. I'm taking Seth Rollins. The Raw's Women Champions, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. I'm going with Bianca Belair keeping and retaining her championship at least to the next pay-per-view. SmackDown's Women Championship. I see Liz Morgan retaining her belt and not straight up, not clean, something's going to happen that Ronda Rousey is going to lose the belt. But if nothing happens, Ronda Rousey is going to take it all day. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, the Usos versus the Street Profit. Again, I see them retaining the belt as long as Roman Reigns lose the belt. They will not kill the bloodline in one day like that. Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Pat McAfee, he's a good announcer, but I think they need to give it finally to Happy Corbin. He haven't not won a pay-per-view match. Let him win this one. See what happens. The United States Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Theory. I think I'm going to have to go with Bobby Lashley keeping the belt unless Theory cheats. But straight up, Bobby Lashley. Undisputed Universal Championship. The GOAT. The Tribal Chief. The longest reigning WWE Universal Champion. Or may I say the WWE Champion. Versus the Alpha of WWE, Brock Lesnar. I see Brock Lesnar taking the belt because this is the last ending match of theirs. And Brock Lesnar have not taken the belt away from him for the past couple of times. So I see him taking it this one, but then I see him losing to Theory. This could be possible. This is my theory on what's going on. Hey, Janelle from the Philippines. I don't know if you know wrestling, but thank you for popping on watching. But that's my look, and check out, I'll be talking a little bit, maybe more on my podcast, Speak Out, about the reasons why they think Vince McMahon is leaving, or maybe I say retiring from WWE, and they are investigating alleged sexual misconduct. So that would probably be one of the reasons why they are, or he is, falling down. But I don't think it's only that. I think it's because Triple H was probably thinking about leaving as well. Well, he left, but I'm thinking about starting a wrestling thing by himself. But Vince McMahon officially announced that he's retiring on Friday afternoon, ending the career of the most historic person in professional wrestling. Over 40 years of him doing this. It's incredible. He took it over from his dad. Remember, he was an announcer first, and then he became a CEO, and he's the longest serving CEO in any sports out there. So no matter what, shout outs to him. Thank you for all the good memories, but it was about that time. You're 76 years old. I think it was about that time. No matter what is the reason why you retire, let the young ones do it. Maybe they get a fresher mind, maybe new storylines, because you were killing all the storylines too fast. So, but that's my take on SummerSlam. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, post down below who you think are taking these matches. I would love to see who you think is taking the match. But until then, enjoy SummerSlam, and remember to watch LDM Radio Sports Talk every Thursday at 5 p.m. with Alfonso. I'll check you guys out and enjoy.